So in here we've got two of the most exciting recent releases from Timex. Now I'll spread this over two videos, but the one I'm focusing on in this first video is a watch that literally released yesterday, and it's called the Marlin Jet Automatic. Now I saw pictures of this online and that's really what spurred the purchase. Let's see how it stacks up in person. So I'm assuming it is this one. Now this will be my first time trying one of these newer Marlin reissue watches. Some of the others looked good, but they were either really small or the newer versions looked a bit too big, at least for my wrist. Whereas this one is supposedly 38mm, despite looking quite chunky. I'll affiliate link this watch down in the description if you want to take a look. And there we are. Oh, it's fallen out of the package a little bit. Quite a nice functional box, really. Nothing too flashy, but it looks quite premium. And here is the watch. Let's do your favourite bit, the peel. Oh, it's a full mummified wraparound. There we go. I have to say, it is a handsome watch. It really is. Again, in some ways it seems to have a couple of similar design cues to the Timex Galley S1 that I reviewed a long time ago. Quite sleek, pretty minimalist except for this single subdial on the left. Very distinctive handset as well on this one, especially the second hand. Now the crown, it works quite well, but there isn't a great deal of grip, I must say. It's mainly for styling from the looks of this. Not the best for winding, but at least it's automatic. It's got a domed crystal, and as you can see, the inside of the dial does appear to be curved there because the markers are kind of inset, which wasn't entirely visible on the images online. Yeah, this watch looks great. The only thing I will say is that in some ways it looks a bit like a kind of dive watch once the bezel gets removed or changed. But in fact, the crystal on this one does extend all the way to the outside there. Overall though, it does look like a very handsome watch. The strap itself is, yeah, it's pretty bang average if I'm honest. I think this must be one of those where you can adjust it to any size because there's no holes, so it must just pierce through at any point. But visually it goes nice, and I think because of the bezel setup where it's beneath the crystal, it definitely looks slightly smaller than a 38mm watch. But let's take a look at the sizing. It is bang on 38mm thickness. In person actually it doesn't look nearly as thick as it does online, and also a large portion of the thickness is taken up with that space under the crystal, so it's not super thick by any stretch, but with the crystal it's still 13.6. But the actual kind of case, not including the crystal, it must equate to about 8.4, 8.5, and look to lug is about 44mm, something like that. Let's take a look at the back of the watch. And historically in these watches, a lot of them have used Miyota automatics, and that's the case again here. What I will say with this one, perhaps because of what they've done to the rotor, it's very, very quiet actually. Now I'm guessing this is a Miyota 8000 movement, given the price of this watch is under £300. I think it's 279 at the moment, which is pretty acceptable. I'm surprised that they've actually done some semblance of finishing on the support plates there. It looks quite nice. But yeah, it's nice to have one that is really quiet for once. Spins very freely. I like it. On wrist, this one looks every bit as good as in the heavily edited stock images. I have to say, this looks like the real deal. Perfect size. And the way that the lugs curve down, it perfectly suits the angle of the strap. Strap feels alright, and it is one of them where you can pretty much prong it through wherever you like, but not sure how that will be in terms of durability in the long run. Now this one is an online exclusive model. Let's read out some of the specs we've got. So yeah, 38mm stainless steel case, and we've only got an acrylic crystal, which does give, you know, some of that warping at the edges. So it looks great, but I think for some of you that may be a kind of downside. Acrylic, of course, does have some advantages. You can buff out scratches, but a lot of watches at this price just straight up have like domed sapphire instead. Also, quite an awkward 19mm strap width, but bad as it sounds, I think the watch looks so good. I'm not too bothered by that. 50 meters water resistant, so that's more than serviceable really. I'll probably end up reviewing this one, but for now I'll affiliate link it in the video description. From a visual standpoint, I can tell you immediately straight out of the box, I would take this over a large number of these Seiko 5 models, even the kind of new ones that are more expensive, same price as this one. But let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear your thoughts.